All right, ladies, let's dive in to Yes, Girl, Yes, You Can. Affirmations to elevate your self-talk. I love it. Thank you, guys. Oh, I love it. So yeah, if I wanted to start with, you guys are going to do most of the talking from here forward. I wanted to start with the first parts of the book. If you have any questions before we dive into each section, anybody have any questions or comments or thoughts, any of that?
I'd like to know what made you write the book. I'd like to hear a little bit of the story about it.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, guys, I was having a really tough time in the beginning of 2022, the latter part of 2022. My sister passed. It was my last year of retirement. Everything was happening really fast. And I was just really like going. There was no feeling. There was no really, I was just going through the motions, to be perfectly honest. I was just going through the motions. I knew in my head, the day that she passed, I actually had a retirement appointment with CalSTRS. And they were, going over what was what. And I didn't really care. I just went through it because I knew I had to, in my head and emotionally and in my heart. I just said, there's something else I want to do with my life. I want to move forward with my writing. I want to move forward with my coaching. I just want to go and do something different. I have given my students and families as much as I could. So it was a way for me to pick myself up, Chrissy, because, I found myself, whoa, a little bit of knee deep, disempowering language. And it was like, yes, girl, yes, you can. And then I had my big sister on my shoulder, like, yes, you can. Girl, yes, you can. I want to hear that. Yes, you can. And so that's kind of what started that for me. And then I just said, writing has always been kind of therapeutic. So yeah. And it just kind of evolved. Any other questions, guys, or comments or anything? The introduction, the whatever, or you want to just dive in? Okay. Miss Wanda said, let's dive in. I read those lips. And Chrissy was diving in. I love it. All right, guys. So let's go to identity.
Can I say one thing before you start? I'm sorry.
Sure, please do.
When I first read this, the first page, the preface said, let's be completely honest here. I've been fearful, doubtful, anxious, worried, frustrated, hesitant, not feeling enough. I stopped there and I couldn't read no more because it was like this was me. This was for me to read it. I put the book down and it must have been maybe a week or so, and it was on my bed. And moved from my bed to the shelf in my room. And it took me a long time to, I would say, probably a month, maybe a little over a month before I picked it up again. I picked up another book in between, but I couldn't read that one. I didn't even get started because I needed to go back to this and read this. But those few lines right there just caught me and just put a lot on my mind because it was describing me, and I felt it was time for me to make some changes. So I just want to make that comment.
Thank you. Thank you. It was important for me to just start out with transparency and play no games. Just play no games. Thank you, Carrie. Okay, guys. So identity. What are your favorite ones? Which ones are you or will you consider? Did you create any affirmations in this section on your own? Let me know when you want to share. Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, Chrissy said, I am a winner. I am enough. Ooh, that one I could have put like, if there was a repeat on a typewriter or a keyboard, I could have put that one like 1,000 times. And it's still a reminder. It's still a reminder. Let me see if I have my really jacked up copy of my book. And that's my personal copy. It's usually just like, ooh, don't show anybody that one because it's pretty tattered. But yeah, I don't see it on my desk, so it's okay. But just know that your girl uses this thing too, and because I have to remind myself on a regular. I am a winner. I am enough. Yeah. Okay. Any others from there, guys, or would you like to go on?
For
Or
me,
you-
I am disciplined to achieve my goals because I really struggle with having discipline. So that's something that I want to work on and that I like to use.
Okay. I love it. I'm disciplined to achieve my goals. Okay.
Okay, I found another one that I absolutely love and have to use. I am virtuous and attract virtuous people. I want love in my life. Like the relationships I have attracted in my past have not been good, and I can see now why with the language that I'm probably not deserving or anything like that. But I love this. I am virtuous and attract virtuous people. Probably why I'm here with you guys today.
I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Did anybody write their own? There's a blank page I put in there just in case you're like, okay, I can't do these 5 stems. I got to come from the gut completely. If it comes to you, we'll come back. If not, it's okay. What about self-awareness? For me, this was one of the toughest ones to write, I think. I don't know, they were all tough, but becoming self-aware was a lot. And I asked a gazillion questions in the beginning. So the purpose of all those questions was really to get you to think of yourself, Okay, I express gratitude for the people in my life. Thank you. Yeah. And expressing gratitude is really an energy lifter, if you will. Because I think the human nature has us comparing or frustrated about what we don't have. We're worried about the future. We're mad about the past. How about the present? Just right here, right now. And what do I have to be grateful for in this moment? Yeah. I connect with people who encourage me to be greater. Yes. That circle of influence and circle of just that inner circle is everything. Yeah. Awesome. And jump in with questions, guys, or like, how do you do that? Or I don't know about that one, Lorena. This isn't an amen corner, so you can disagree. We're all good. It's a safe space.
Well, I had a couple on the self-awareness. I am
Okay.
responsible for my own happiness.
Mm.
I walk in love. I express gratitude for the people in my life. And then I went back and selected number 5. I attract positive energy because I exude positive energy.
Ooh. Snap, snap, Miss Wanda. Snap. We put the book down and snap.
But you know what? As I had looked at that one, it also reminded me of the power of energy. So I was talking with a friend today. My energy was low. Her energy ended up being low. Like we were reflecting energy off of each other. And so when I saw that one, I was like, yeah, that also reminds me to be aware of my energy, especially when I'm interacting with other people. You know, the disempowering language, how I noticed that made my energy low, but also be you know, cognizant of when I'm reflecting that to other people as well.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
Mhm.
I like that. I like that. I like that, Miss Wanda. That's pretty cool. That's really cool to notice our energy and then the energy of someone else, and then you noticing, whoa, whoa, whoa. We're not getting anywhere with this kind of energy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You sound like my girls at the restaurant almost. Oh, yeah. Number 17, I'm open to new ideas and opportunities. That one was really like one that I had to embrace. You know, and it's like I know my strengths and areas of growth opportunity. You know, and you know, I'm mindful of using the word weakness, because weakness to me connotates judgment. You know, it sounds like I'm judging, like you're weak, and weak has no power. That word weak does not give me any power. So I, and as Carrie was mentioning before, no, that's a low vibrational energy statement there. So it's like, oh no, the word weakness, you know, it's opportunities of growth, things like that. Just those, the phrasing, it offers me hope and a place to move forward. Anything else, guys, in this section, guys? Anything that stood out?
Can you just give an explanation of number 11?
Of course. I surround myself with authentic people. For me, when I wrote that, it was like I had to define what was authentic, and I need you to be real. I need you to be transparent. I don't need you to fake and shake. You know, for the most part, guys, I'm naturally effervescent, bubbly, and positive. However, I have days where I'm like, I'm so low inside, but I don't allow myself to stay there very long. And I do have a core group of people that I can tell you, hey, ooh, girl, I'm not feeling so good today. And as opposed to a pity party or someone asking, well, what is it? What's, you know, how about somebody asking me, so what can we do to lift? What are we going to do about that? Are we going to stay here? You know, my motto, Carrie, is I give myself 5 minutes. I time a pity party, literally. I put a timer on the phone. Okay, girl, you can mope for about 5 minutes. And now what you going to do? Because the situation's not going to change. But I still allow myself to feel it. So, you know, it's not like ignore your feelings, hurry up and get over it. It's, I'm not going to take up residence in feeling negative or feeling bad. That's all. But the authenticity means I want people to, I want reciprocal relationships, Carrie. And that is a challenge. Anybody experience that besides me? You feel like you've been the giver, giver, give. Look at Miss Wanda, two hands. You've been the giver and you're like, whoa, okay. Before I get to getting upset or whatever, I think, Carrie, is this something that I need to give myself? Or is this a pattern of my own behavior that I attract people because I think I can rescue you? I can fix you because I used to be the rescuer and the fixer. And so if you're, the authenticity is be real with me, be honest, be real. And I want people who can speak to me as honestly as they can. And then that goes into some other type of communication that we won't get into today, but you know, are you implied when you communicate or are you direct when you communicate? And we may have to notice who we are, and how we engage with other people. We can't change them, and we really shouldn't change them necessarily. We, you know, it's not our job to change anybody, but it is our job to let people know this is what I need from my friends. And so I think we have a right to ask for what we want And so
That's my
Lorena?
that's my issue. I have a hard time with that. And I guess that's why that one was so hard for me to not so much understand, but just get there.
okay.
I just, I could see people are not giving me what I need, or I shouldn't be. Some people just take your energy away, but you
Mhm.
still continue to listen to them, to talk to them. And I'm not one to say, okay, I can't take no more, or I don't want to hear. I just I just try to make everybody happy. And then I think, well, maybe this person needs somebody to talk to. But I mean, over and over, when it's all negative, then it's taking me down. I just have a hard time of get,
Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I do.
It's hard. So I just need an explanation. That was
Okay.
helpful what you said, but I gotta get there.
Can I
And
add to that, Lorena?
go ahead.
I think with this for me too is I think a lot of us have a really big issue with trusting people. And when I'm focusing on the relationships and the things I don't like in my relationships, I feel like I'm bringing more of that into my life. And so when I think of using this affirmation and repeating it over and over and focusing on who am I authentically? I think that's where it starts, is figuring out who am I authentically. And I was talking to my friend about this today, about friends who do we care enough to repair this relationship, or is this a friendship that we could love from a distance, right? So and I think it all comes down to individually us, and making sure that whatever it is that we need is coming from inside of us, because no one will ever fulfill that. And when we know what our authenticity is, I believe we're going to attract authentic people into our lives. But I do believe it starts inside. And I think that was the hardest thing in my transformation journey, was turning it and looking and seeing the work I had to do, and then actually doing the work. But since I have done it, I mean, I've had all of these amazing opportunities, and I've had more intentional relationships, and I recognize, because I know what I want and I know what fills my cup, and I give from my overflow and not from an empty cup. Now I recognize things that I'm like, okay, I could live without that. And I just I don't even get involved anymore. And it became easier for me. But I do think it's because I really intentionally thought about, what does authenticity mean to me? And how can I see that in other people?
Okay.
I hope that
That
helps.
was a lot. Wow. I heard a lot in there. Ooh. I would say, and add to all of that, Carrie, is I invite you to think about the boundaries of how much you're willing to give another person. And from what you said, it sounded like, I don't have anything else to give you. And you're still complaining about life. And for me, that is a signal to me to ask myself, is this someone that I want in my space on a regular? Are you once a month? Are you 6 months? Or is this relationship complete? And that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Is this a seasonal? Is this somebody who's been there from day one? I get that. However, I'm very mindful, Carrie, of who I associate with myself with, because everybody's not on board with what I'm talking about. We've been friends, we've been acquaintances, associates for years, but everybody is still like, I don't know what she's talking about. She's saying some wild stuff online. And if I bought into that, Carrie, I would be, well, now initially I didn't want to like post on my personal Facebook. And then it was like, girl, once I did more work on myself and just said, what is it? Why do you care what these people think? This is for somebody else who doesn't know how to ask, or somebody who's feeling something like this but would like to be heard. And you have a right, Carrie, to have the energy matched. What you give is what you deserve, period. Other people's capacity, they just might not have it, you know. Maybe you're a pint, and girl, I'm running around here with a gallon. So I need a gallon to come on this train. I can't have a pint, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a romantic relationship. All of those are choices. And it's hard because we're so, all that stuff under the iceberg, our experiences, our culture, our family, we're told to do this, our gender, all these things, society, all these things have us thinking, well, we have to do this. Well, who's going to take care of Carrie? And when I realized, because I know we're both caretakers in ways, if we don't take care of ourselves, we've got nothing. And so when Chrissy said I give from the overflow, I can't give you from this cup. Whatever's in that saucer, hey, let's rock and roll with it. But I still have to set those very clear boundaries. And the boundaries aren't just for other people. The boundaries are for myself, so that I don't overstep and forget about me, because I need to be at the front of the line. I hope that helped a little bit, Carrie. Because it's not a one and done. It's process. This is whenever we stop growing or evolving, well, I guess we closed our eyes. At least that's how I feel about it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Carrie, for being so transparent. And look at you, Miss Authenticity. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. So if there's any more from self-awareness, we can move on to wellness. What do you think about wellness? Yeah, thanks, Carrie, for sharing. It is good for all of us to learn together. It's really good for us to learn together. So what about wellness? Anything that came to you? Ooh, all these questions. I was up late writing these questions, guys. But they really allowed me to do a little self-coaching until I got my own coach. I have a master coach now, and I deserve it. I'm worth it. So I'm worth the investment. I'm worth the sacrifice in other areas, because I think I've spent money on things that were covering or to satisfy or pacify, as opposed to, let me deal with that. Chrissy?
I'm curious, do you feel like applying these affirmations to your life has helped you get to that point where you even have the financial ability to have your own master coach? And how has applying these affirmations changed your life for you?
I think I was really stuck on the financial aspect, as you said, but then I started looking at, where else am I putting my money? I don't even want to go on a vacation if I'm dreading coming back, really. I want to be happy right here in my little room, my little office, my house that needs painting. I want to be I want to be happy right here, and I get to choose that, because I take myself everywhere I go. But when we get to finances, I'll let you know some of those affirmations. And if we don't have time, guys, which I'm going to wrap up in about maybe 2 minutes, I think we need to have a Bookinar part 2. Anybody in agreement on that? And we will just I'll set a date, guys, and we can do this again. We can finish up. But yeah. Yeah. I had to know that I deserve the investment. I had to start looking at where I put my money, Chrissy. Also, my faith is huge. My faith is huge. I'm also a giver, a tither. I mean, I do some ridiculous giving and financially. So I also know that at some point in time, you know, I'm not going to be without. And I've collected the evidence. I've never been without. You know what I'm saying? It may have been low, Chrissy. I mean, low. But somehow I'm here. This same house that I'm in now was a house that I came to for refuge in an unhealthy relationship with intimate partner violence. The same house is where I came for refuge years ago, I guess almost 15 years ago, something like that. And 2016, I'm in a position to buy it. So financially, I had to start from the bottom. Now we're here. That was it for real. And so now I just look at, yeah, I retired. Yeah, I had to cut back on a lot of things and I left because my hearing was changing. I was tired of saying, what did you say? What did you say? You know, the kids were like, they would just automatically know. Miss Belcher, she said, or he said, da, 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 da. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And so I just said that was part of my retirement decision, all of that. And just, I was tired. I love my kids, loved them. But when it was like, ooh, I'm tired, I was like, oh, that was my signal to say it's time to go because, you know, physicians say do no harm. As a teacher, it was do no harm because I was going to treat these children as if they popped up out of me. And so, yeah. So, Chrissy, yeah, I deserve it. We deserve it. You deserve it. Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, I love my body. Yeah, that was a tough one because how many times have I looked in the mirror and was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I realized until I love my body the way it wasn't going to change because I was practicing unconditional love with myself. Oh, I'll love you if you do this. Oh, I'll love you when you do this. What kind of craziness is that? And I won't say it's craziness. It's just, I had to tell myself, okay, I deserve more than this. And I'm better than this. And I want to thank my body for carrying me through these 64.5 years. So yeah. So we are going to reschedule or schedule rather a part 2. And thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Miss Wanda. You know, before we go, I just want to ask you guys a couple of questions just to leave you with some questions. You don't have to answer them right now. I just want to leave you with some questions. And part of it is, when are you going to go to the front of the line? As mothers, what kind of legacy are we leaving for our children if they don't see us love on ourselves? Are you ready to create the life you love? And so what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to put a link in the chat if you want to have a connection call. And we're just going to talk about what would coaching mean to you? What does it look like for you? And okay, let me get my little link going here, guys. And I'm so proud of myself because remember I talked about in the beginning about my tech issues. I am embracing all of them. So if you like, guys, you don't have to go on there right this minute, but if you're curious and you just want to have a conversation, maybe it's not for you right now. Maybe it's something you were thinking about, but you're just not sure. Or maybe you're just not ready at all. And that's okay too, because I'm gonna be here. But if you could just click the link and maybe put it on another, you know how you just open up another window? Because this is a personal decision. And I love you no matter what you choose. And so at this time, guys, thanks, Chrissy. I'm reading the check. Of course, I'm so grateful to my mom, who hasn't said much, but I'm very grateful. She sees me back in this room like, what in the world is she doing back there? She's been back there for hours. But I'm back here creating the life I love. And I want that for every woman, especially moms, because God knows we have sacrificed everything so that our children could be productive, loving, giving human beings. And it's our turn now. So if you guys have any closing remarks, I've closed. I just want you guys to say farewell to each other and let me know how you feel.
Thank you for this opportunity. I can't wait to part 2. I've learned a lot. Thank you, ladies, for your input. I've learned from each of you. Okay, have a good evening.
Bye, Carrie. Bye, Wanda. Bye, Miss Artie. Bye, Lorena.
Bye, ladies.
Okay, guys, if anybody else has anything, yes. If not, let me know. But Wanda, you are talking, but you're muted. Or maybe you're not talking.
I put my comment in the chat, but this was really, really good. And it gave me lots of things to think about
Yes.
in terms of just how I speak to myself and my thoughts, and then how I project that and show up, to others.
I love it. Thank you, Wanda. And I'm reading it now. Thank you, Lorena. This was wonderful. I have lots of things to consider and incorporate in terms of honoring myself and doing the things I love. Thank you for allowing me to be the facilitator of that. And like we say, this is just the beginning. Just the beginning. Mom?
I would like to thank you, Lorena, and all you girls also. It's so much nicer to listen and get so much out of what other people are saying and doing to me, because I'm over the hill. And it's just what you ladies just keep moving and going forward. Don't look back. Just continue to go your way and be happy with yourself. I finally learned to love me. And I do what me needs. And I do think about others, and I'm a giving person, but I'm first. And that's just the way it is. And all of you have a wonderful evening and continue to grow.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you, Miss Artie.
All right, everybody unmute and say toodles. Until next time.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Can't wait for part 2.
Okay, guys, I'll see you in part 2. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.